I think it's time to make the donuts.
Time to make the donuts. Yay. Sounds really good. I want donuts.
Good evening. It's Tuesday night. It's Tuesday night with Ben Stowe, and we are here and we are live. Ben, good evening. That's all we have? Yeah. Yes, tonight Ben's going to be doing mime of our show. It's going to be awesome. No words. It'll be how do you mime tech? Ben, we've got.
I don't know how you mime awesome. That's an only.
Well, that's where we just put your picture up next to awesome in the dictionary, and we're good, man. It's awesome. Oh, we missed last week, of course, because of the virtual expo going on, and I have to say, Ben, we had, I think, 6 people send messages saying, "Hey, where's Ben on Tuesday night?" So 6. I realized that you've got. I didn't realize your reach was that far, and
we tripled our audience.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So they're all looking forward to this show. Tonight is going to be kind of a special night because later this week we've got LDI, which is what, the Lighting Design Institute or something like that. Now, for those who don't know what LDI is, Ben, can you give us kind of a synopsis of what this show is about?
Well, it's really, LDI's they've really tried to morph themselves into now the technology show. LDI started out really as a lighting show, and I think predominantly it still is. But of course, the visual arts as a whole has really evolved with video technologies and all those sorts of things. But we're starting to see a few more audio manufacturers, and so really what LDI is a large showbiz technology showcase, and I think their strongest audiences are tour lighting, theatrical, both live performance and films, and a house of worship, and of course, I mean, when you got a shock and awe show like that, there's a lot of DJs that go to. They like to see some of these things and put their hands on them. And there are some things that are very application appropriate for DJs as well.
Oh, certainly. And what's kind of cool about LDI is that they introduce some new products, which for the DJ world is kind of cool because we get a little new stuff now, and then we get some more new stuff in January.
Everybody likes new stuff.
That we do.
It's a great way to end the year, and NAMM's a great way to start the year. So, yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. So that'll be our show for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be looking at some of the new stuff, and for some of these items, I think this might be almost kind of the world debut of a couple of them. I don't know if anyone else has talked about them yet.
Yeah, it's starting to leak out there now as the show is just right around the corner, but we should be debuting some of this stuff. I think we're right in there with anybody else, any of the larger, media outlets, and as you and I know from our conversations earlier today, there's an overwhelming amount of stuff. As my contacts have shared with me, they've pulled the curtain back and said, "Here's what we're going to be showing," and some manufacturers have over 25 products that are new.
Yeah.
And with all the manufacturers that we represent, that, like you said, this is going to be LDI week with Ben Stowe. I'm busy, so no, it can't. And I know you are too. So I kind of picked one from each manufacturer, and it was hard in many cases. It was really tough to say, "Gosh, which one do I want to pick?"
Yeah.
And so we just picked one, and we'll try to post the new products on the NLFX website as well, and maybe some of the industry forums too.
Yep, and then later in the week, we will actually, the Disc Jockey News will be there. So for those of you who want to see some of the latest and newest stuff, we're going to be doing little short video clips out on our YouTube channel. So you can go to youtube.com/discjockeynews, and you'll be able to catch little teasers now, because we're going to do some more in-depth things with the different manufacturers. But it's always cool to get to see the new stuff when it's up, shining, and looking beautiful.
You'd see if you think it's as cool as I did. Maybe I missed my picks, So lighting Swami or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, these aren't the coolest ones from each manufacturer. You go to Twitter, #NLFXBen.
Oh, man, you're a terrible taste in lighting.
You picked that one over this one. What are you thinking? So Ben, are we about ready to get into the new gear, the new lights?
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to talk about some old lights first, though.
Okay.
If that's all right. Not only is this LDI week, which is a very exciting time for our industry, it's also a time that's meaningful to me. this is also National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week. And so I want to just bring out some of the oldest lights that I own. This is, I think, about 22 years old or so, if I do the math correctly. It is, I believe it's Folger's brand.
It does look like it, yes.
It was made by yours truly while I was living in a homeless shelter. And so I guess that's one of the maybe lesser known facts about me. Certainly I don't make a secret of it, but many, many years ago as a teenager, I was homeless and I lived in a shelter, and that's where I got my start in this industry. That was really where I kind of set about trying to figure out how I was going to pay my rent. And, you know, obviously it's turned into a very rewarding career. And you know, I'm very happy about it. I thought some people would enjoy the early nerdery. All six of you.
They're like, show us more, show us more.
This was my first lighting controller. It has not survived very well over the last 23 years or so, whatever it is. It's a little bit beat up, but anyway, you can see the circuit boards and things that were made inside there. And it was controlled by this control panel, which used to be mounted in a box similar to that. The box is probably long ago destroyed. In fact, I had to go digging. I was glad to see that I still had these, but designed and etched the circuit boards and then wired everything, and it worked for the most part. It got the job done. Got me into the industry anyway, that's for sure.
So even your very, very first lighting controller was probably more advanced than like my third or fourth one that I bought.
Well, I don't know. You know, it was simple, but it did the job. It turned on and off lights in a chase pattern. That's really all we were going for. We weren't looking for anything too advanced. But I think the takeaway is, you know, that I have a rewarding career, and you know, I have the great privilege of working in an industry that I enjoy and working with people that I like. My kids will have a warm and Merry Christmas. We don't go hungry. And some of those things are a change from life as I knew it 22 years ago. You know, this week it will be below zero in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty awful time to not have a warm place to call home. Yeah. And so I want to just shine the light on, no pun intended, but I want to shine the light on the fact that this is National Homelessness and Hunger Awareness Week. Mm-hmm. And I looked up some statistics. These are from a foundation, a research foundation. Actually, a friend of mine works at. He doesn't know I looked these up, but I don't think he watches my show. So
he's not one of the six.
Probably not. He's been a very good longtime friend of mine, and actually we met through the system, as it were. He was working in the you know, homeless and foster and runaway youth system, and this was after I was now a young adult at 18. I had my business started. And we met at a conference, and we became lifelong friends. He's a wonderful human being, and I'm just privileged to know him. Anyway, he's one of the researchers there. And so some of these statistics from their site that, if you'll bear with me, I just want to share. Here in our home state of Minnesota, on any given night, there's more than 3,500 children that are homeless. Not people, children, and half of those, John, almost 2,000 of those are under the age of 5.
Wow.
Yeah. Being homeless as a teenager is one thing. Mm-hmm. You think you know everything, so things aren't so bad, you know. Yeah. And this, I just want to read this quote directly because I think it says it really well, and it's fairly self-evident on the face of it, but I just want to read it. It says, studies of homeless children show that they have more health problems than children with housing. Yeah. They have more trouble learning to develop healthy relationships, and they have more difficulty staying on track in school. Mm-hmm. Long-term studies show that they're more likely than other children to be homeless as adults, and that young adulthood is particularly a risky time for them. And again, I think this all goes without saying, of course. See, they don't have access to health care. They don't have permanent residence. You know, this does not set them up well for life later on. And those early years are so important in terms of the formative things. You know, we as a society pay for that a lot later. I'll get off my soapbox in a minute, but That's just a couple more points I want to make.
Mm-hmm.
This is your reward is you get to see the new LDI stuff. So hang it. 11% of homeless parents reported at least one child in their family had to skip meals because they didn't have enough food to feed the whole family. And, you know, while I know there are assistance programs out there and there's great people that work in those assistance programs, and of course there's great debate about the deployment of programs and the merits therein and those sorts of things, but the bottom line is we still have homeless and hungry people. Mm-hmm. This one I found really interesting too. Nearly 1/3 of homeless parents had their first experience with homelessness when they were less than 18 years of age. And it's even more true, by the way, when you get to children 0 through 5 years old, that's 43%, which sort of indicates that, again, there's a perpetuation of the cycle. Mm-hmm. Now, I hope, and it would seem very likely, my children will never experience homelessness. Mm-hmm. But the same can't be said for thousands of people across the country. I don't have a call to action here for anybody that's watching. I don't have a thing I want you to go do. But I wanted to shine the light on this and point it out. And I think there's opportunities for us as a village to help raise our own. So I just want to leave it at that.
Yeah. Good stuff, Ben. Good stuff.
Thanks for enduring. Thanks for enduring. It really pains me when I see people in that situation. And some people, of course, there's all kinds of reasons people end up homeless, mental illness and other sorts of things. I know people today that I knew then who are still homeless, and that will be their situation. They just don't ever seem to find a roadmap out. But some people do, and I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you. I'm one of those people. Yeah. So we don't want to give up on everybody because some are, maybe not able to find the way out. Let's help those who want out.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
How'd you like to talk about some LDI stuff?
Let's do that. Let's do that. We'll use the bridge that, when we're in Las Vegas, that's for some of us, that's one of our first really experiences of interacting with homeless people, as we run into quite a few on the strip and different places. So it's kind of one of those things that until I went to Vegas, I really lived a fairly sheltered life and hadn't experienced people that were homeless.
Well, and you really haven't seen the half of it either. Again, this is an area of interest to me. If you haven't seen the tunnels in Vegas, then you really haven't seen homelessness in Vegas. And you're right. That's the first place we kind of say, wow, there's somebody here who's hoping I'll throw some coins in his or whatever. But just go look up on the internet tonight after you learn about all the new LDI stuff. Just go look up the tunnels in Las Vegas. The homeless families living in the tunnels. It's staggering. And then again, think about, if you're living in a place where it's going to get sub-zero, that's about as serious as it gets right there.
Very quickly. Good things to think about, Ben. We have got a list of things to look at tonight from LDI. Let's get into that.
All right. Well, I had to kind of make a cheat sheet. I knew with all the my attention deficit, I knew with all these exciting things that I looked at, I would go just bonkers with going through the list of items. Over 100, I think we came up with. We narrowed it down to 11?
11. Yep, we'll be going through 11.
I don't know. Maybe it was because it was lunchtime when I was going through this, but the first one I want to start out with is the new Defiant Spark from X-Laser. Okay, and you can see this here next to, and this is an actual photo, next to a Big Mac box. I'm sure McDonald's is thrilled about this, but they don't watch my show either. It's a fully featured, ILDA-controlled scanning laser system with up to 3 watts of power in a footprint the size of a Big Mac box. I guess maybe that's what I should have used for my first controllers. I could have used Big Mac box. I didn't think about that. It has an IP54 touring grade construction, and it has a silent fanless housing. It's all diode construction, and it's available in 4 colors: in red, green, bright blue, and sapphire blue. and that is new from X-Laser.
Very nice. Let's continue on.
All right. Well, this is one of the companies that's releasing, I believe, 25 plus products. American DJ, always innovators in our industry, and they've got all these great things to pick and choose from. I settled on the Illusion Dots 3.3. It's a moving head, and it's got a 3x3 matrix of pixel-controllable tricolor LEDs. They're COB LEDs, cob, chip on board, however you want to hear that. There's 9 of those at 30 watts apiece, and has, of course, you know, DMX control, sound active, and auto show with some programs and things built on. But it also has, if you're familiar with ClaimNet or ArtNet, it also has Ethercons on board. That's RJ45s, like your Ethernet jack in a touring shell. And so you can control that with programs like Media Master or you know, Grand VJ, those sorts of things. That if they support CleanNet or ArtNet as well. So, of course, it has you know, 540-degree pan, 270-degree tilt. It does have RDMX, remote DMX capability, and has up to 38-channel mode with DMX. So pretty excited about that. It's going to be a fun little light.
Yeah, very, very nice. I love it when they set those up into the show and they did that pixel mapping and going across different fixtures. That's such a cool effect.
Yeah, you know, it's sort of like, I mean, I think it's obviously a great effect. And the worst part about that kind of light, though, is you just want to buy like 100 of them because you think what you could do if you had an array of these things. All right, next, from one of the oldest companies in our industry, our friends at Rosco, they have the new OptiFlex. And Flex, cleverly enough, stands for Filters for LED Enhancement, Correction, and Softening. Now, of course, Rosco's famous for their gels. They're famous for their you know, light shaping filters and the other things that their, you know, diffusion filters and things that we sell. Obviously, they're famous for their gobos, and they also have some new LED fixtures of their own too, by the way. But the OptiFlex is 20 or so, 21, I think, semi-rigid plastic filters, and they're designed to enhance the quality of solid-state lighting sources like LED, make them much more appealing in terms of, you know, theater and film use and that sort of thing. Some of the different things they've got are diffusion and beam control filters, you know, and this is, again, like the diffusion filters they already have, but these are just specifically designed for LED. They have color corrections. You know, many LEDs have a lot of green in them, things like that. You know, help change the contour of the light, and that allows them to, you know, to be used, you know, in concert with halogen lighting or other incandescent light sources or fluorescent, that sort of thing. Of course, there's a lot of green and fluorescent too. And then there's some neutral density filters for just lowering the output if you have non-dimmable LEDs. So a pretty useful toolkit from Rosco at the OptiFlex. I'm actually really excited about that. They had about 10 new products, and I settled on filters. But you know, I think filters are underappreciated. You know, it's easy to look at the hardware and get caught up in the excitement of that. But boy, when it comes to making this light useful, I'm really geeked about these filters.
Yeah, and as you say, just to give you a lot of flexibility to use that light in situations you probably wouldn't want to use it without.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if flex was supposed to be, you know, like flex. You know, so. They're pretty creative people out there, Rosco. All right.
All right.
Next on the list, let's go for another laser.
Yeah.
Let's go with the diode series from Laser World. These are fully analog controlled. That gives you really full control of the full color spectrum when you're doing color mixing with lasers. And of course, you can do custom text, animation, graphics using an ILDA laser control software. They also can be used in DMX or standalone, and has a completely sealed housing, so very minimal maintenance. There's, you know, it's sealed. So.
Nice, nice looking unit.
Yes, as Paul Harvey would say, page 2.
Page 2 becomes one that I got a little sneak peek of this early last week before it came out to the rest of the world. But this gig bar looks like it could be kind of a hot item.
This thing is going to be insane. This is going to be the next, you know, the Swarm 5 effects from Chauvet was an incredibly hot seller. We just can't keep them in stock. Nobody can. They can't. and this is going to be the next. It really takes the best of all of those things, the popularity of their 4-bar series and something like the Swarm 5. And what we see on it right here is it's a 4-in-1 light. You've got a pair of LED Kentas on it, a pair of LED PARs, a laser, and there's 4 strobe diodes built into the bar. So, you can cover, an entire room with this thing. Well, it depends on the room, obviously, but basically out of the box, or out of the carry bag as it comes with, you have a light show. Pop it up and you have effect lighting, you have strobe, you have flood lighting, you have a laser, and of course you can control it with a wireless foot switch, or you can master slave the units in addition to that. It's going to be a very popular effect, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that one in person this week.
I hope my competition doesn't watch the show. They won't need me to tell them. As soon as they see it, they'll know. They'll see it.
Good stuff. Let's jump on. We are to Martinus for the next one.
Yes, the new Quantum Profile. This is a big, bad mamma jamma in a reasonably small housing, actually. It's a 475-watt LED. That's a lot of horsepower for an LED.
Oh, yes.
Has an incredibly flat, even field, very high contrast, and a very crisp image.
Now, Ben, Ben, what's the flat field? What do you mean by that?
It's a very nice, even field of light. We're not going to see hots and colds. You're going to see a nice, even image all the way through. So,
gotcha.
And it's comparable to like a 700-watt HID, a high-intensity discharge. It's small and light, and it's extremely fast. Obviously, Martin is gearing this towards the higher-end customer. And it has a full set, including color mixing and a 1x3 zoom as well. So expect to see this on a lot of production shows.
Let's see, what do we have next in our...
We've got, this is kind of neat. I actually haven't seen this one in person yet. It's one of the ones I wish I had. I picked it. They had a lot of different things.
Yes.
And I thought, well, this is different. And I like that. There were several companies that were introducing something that looks like something somebody else has. And, you get points for me for that, So, good for you, but the theme here is new stuff that you haven't seen, and I haven't seen this one before. So kudos to these guys at Blizzard for their Nova multi-beam LED moving head. I was trying to think how I might use this from a design standpoint, and I haven't come up with anything yet. But again, I haven't seen it in person. I'm still trying to understand it, but I dig the fact that it is something very neat and new. It's got 4 25-watt LED, apertures in there, and it has multi-beam effects with varying degrees from 5 degree to 40 degree, and it's got an RGBW color wheel with a color flow effect. So it looks like kind of a crazy psychedelic beam changing, moving around 4 to 8 beams thing. Looks like it's going to be pretty wild.
Looks like that one is going to be a video we get up already on as soon as we can, maybe even Thursday if we get lucky.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see it myself.
Yeah.
So, all right, and that brings us to a light that's already been out. We've sold some, we've installed some. You're seeing them already out on shows and things like that, but it's still really kind of in launch mode, and it is a very hot light. It's going to just increase in popularity, I think, as the world becomes aware of them, and that, of course, is the Elation Sniper 2R. It's a kind of a multi-effect type of light. It's a beam, it's a scanner. It kind of simulates a laser, and it does so using the Philips 2R platinum lamp. That's a 132-watt lamp, but its output really exceeds its consumption. Many people are familiar with other, platinum R lamps like the 5R, the 15R, that sort of thing. Has a 3-degree precision beam and a 3-facet rotating prism, and it'll do things like liquid sky, laser wave, cone effects. It's got 14 dichroic colors in white, and you can put some gobos in it too, 17 of them, I think, actually. So the Sniper is a pretty wild deal. That'll be another one that we're going to see a lot of in the future.
And I've heard from the rumors I've been hearing is that the Elation booth is covered with Sniper fixtures.
Yeah, I believe I know because I have the list, and we bought them all, by the way. So anybody's looking for a great deal on a demo unit sniper, contact yours truly because we bought the booth. So I think there were 38 of them or something. That's a lot.
Wow.
It's well, and 70 video panels, and I don't know, 100 6-par 100s. It's going to be a great booth. But enough about Elation. They had their 5 seconds in the sun and moving on. All right.
Oh,
sorry, guys. You know I love you, but
moving.
Yeah.
Moving.
We're loving
forward.
everybody here.
That's right. We've got a dance floor. It's looking like.
Yeah, this is cool. It's not just a dance floor. Okay, it's a LED video dance floor.
Wow.
So in each 19.7-inch square panel, you've got 100 LEDs. And each tile only weighs 20 pounds. They're very light and easy to transport. They go together really quickly as kind of a cool little locking system. It will play flash video files or JPEGs. It is over 200 videos included. And there's an effect generator to create new effects. Now, I want to know how many drunk people at parties you can be looking down trying to see the video going on underneath them, and it's entertainment all in and of itself because they're not going to keep their equilibrium. Anyway, this would be pretty exciting. Basically, you turn your dance floor into a video screen.
Yeah, OmniSistem comes out with some really cool stuff, and I think this is going to be one of those that, again, we're going to have to get this on video because it looks pretty awesome. They
do, and I've seen others that have got dance floors elsewhere, and they invariably have problems with them. They're trying to find parts with them. They get broken. I mean, they get jumped on and walked on, and all those sorts of things. OmniSistem makes great product, and I think he's going to hold up really well.
Yeah.
I'm excited to jump around on these for a little bit.
Yes. I'll just jump ahead here. We've got a Chauvet fixture next.
Yep, this is from the Chauvet Pro line.
This is the Pro line, yep.
So if anybody's saying, well, wait a minute, you said one per manufacturer. Yes, we gave Elation one and American DJ one, even though they're the same company. So we're giving Chauvet DJ and Chauvet Professional, which are two different brands within the umbrella.
Yep.
And plus, I would have snuck this one, I think, anyways, because I am really excited about this light. I feel like I just want to own a bunch of them myself. It's the new Rogue Series Hybrid, the RH1, and it's a combination of a beam and a spot. So if you're speccing out productions and you say, well, do I need beams in my inventory? Do I need spots in my inventory? Well, now you just need these. It's because it's either and both. Mm-hmm. It has beam angles vary from 1 degree up to 19 degrees. And it's I think it's 1 to 4.5, and then I think 5 to 19, if I remember correctly, in spot mode. But it's zoomable and it's brighter than the living daylights. It's 111,000 lux at 15 meters, and that's using the 330 watt Osram Sirius lamp. So that's a pretty bad mamma jam. I'm pretty excited about that.
Wow. Really, this is Ben's Christmas. Santa, this is my list. Watch Tuesday night.
Santa has quit replying to me at this point. Santa, yeah.
Good stuff. We've got our final fixture we're looking at.
Yep, these are in no particular order, of course. This is the brand new Eternal Event Cube, and it's a sister fixture, follow-up fixture to the Show Cube, which is also just about to start shipping. And the Show Cube has color mixing on those heads, but the Event Cube is designed for pin spotting. And you've got selectable warm white or cool white LEDs inside each fixture. You can select those using the wireless DMX, which, oh, by the way, did I mention, has wireless DMX on board. And using that wireless DMX, you can choose whether you want warm white or cool white diodes on. And, of course, the heads, as you can see, are very flexible. You can move them around and for individual aiming. And the fixture is also battery-powered. And the heads, by the way, are the same as what's in the Eternal Ultra pin, which is the wireless battery-powered pin spot. And each one is zoomable from 3 degrees to 20 degrees.
Very nice.
And it comes with a carry bag.
That'll be a nice addition to the Show Cube.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's, I think a lot of people I've said this for a long time, and manufacturers that listen to their customers are going to benefit from that. The best ideas come from the people who use the gear in the field. The production work and whatnot that I do, well, people say, you know, why are you pushing road cases around? Aren't you the president of a company that distributes these products? Don't you have a job? But I like being hands-on. I like being out in the show. I like being out with the you know, the electricians and the stagehands and the carpenters and the riggers, and learning about how these products are used. And our industry is always evolving. What you knew 20 years ago is a good foundation for today, but it has to stay relevant. Mm-hmm. And anyway, that's kind of the story with what happened with Eternal. People saw the show cube and said, "Oh, can I use this for pin spotting? You know, could I use this at events?" And Eternal, you know, wisely listened and said, "We'll make one."
Check back in 2 months. Here we go.
That's right.
Yeah. Neat.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of good stuff, but this is kind of a little teaser now for a lot of you who are interested to see what's coming out. You've got a sample. But I think you had, just from the different things you sent, and that wasn't all the items. I think there was like almost 50 items in that folder from different things you were sending today. And as you said, and that didn't include the 25 from one company, and I know there's another handful. Yeah.
And they were still coming in minutes before showtime. Like, hey, hang on, there's another one.
Quick, one more. No, good stuff. I'm really excited to check this out, and this will be starting. Well, we'll get some sneak peek stuff. Thursday's still setup day, but I think we might be able to get a little sneak peek on our YouTube channel. But then Friday, Saturday, we're going to have a lot of video going up for people to check out some of the new stuff from LDI 2014.
Yeah, it's going to be a big show.
Yeah, it should be a great show. Ben, I want to thank you for putting the time in to kind of go through and give us this little sneak peek tonight. If you guys have any questions, you can go out to our Facebook page, which is, you can just go in there and search for Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe. We have our Facebook page there. You can ask questions or make comments or whatever you want to do there. Or if you're into Twitter, you can go out to Twitter. You can do the hashtag NLFXBen, and that'll go right to Ben. And ask questions, leave some comments, share a thought, or send in a T-shirt. He hasn't had a T-shirt for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I've had to start wearing collared shirts. Do you see what's happening?
Yes, you're becoming respectable and professional, and
next thing you know, it's going to be ties.
Oh man,
we're not going to have that.
Or if it's continuing with this weather, it will be parkas.
Well, here's the ghost of Christmas future. We did have a request from my friend Alan Trisler in Indianapolis, near Indianapolis. Yep. In Columbus, Indiana, and he was asking questions about cold weather transportation and storage of gear. So I may shoot that outside.
Oh my!
But it's below zero this week, so I may wait a week or two.
Oh yes, it's going to be cold there. Talking a very cold week up there, so it won't bother me too much to be headed to Las Vegas for the rest of the week.
Well, I was kind of hoping you'd come up and shoot that one with me. We could shoot that side together.
Did I mention I'm sick?
Yeah.
I'm feeling a fever. Come on. Great stuff. Thank you very much for your time tonight, Ben. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News, Disc Jockey News TV. Thanks for watching. Good night.